what will define success for Trey Lance?
Now, this is a question that I think is interesting because for all of the Lance discussion, I don't think I've ever heard anybody actually say what will define success in this first year as the starter for him. I mean, is it about a record? Is it about, I mean, for the Niner fans, I think it's about the record. I think it's about the record, even though, nobody wanted to hear the Niners record with Jimmy, the Niners record with the backups. But I think ultimately, if Trey Lance is playing just okay, but the team is 10-2, wow, he's awesome. Mm-hmm. If Trey Lance is playing really, really good, and efficient football, smart football, but the team is closer to, 500, I think there'll be people that will be saying it's not successful. So I think his success is tied to their record and not necessarily his. I think there'll be people that will be able to justify whatever he does on the field if the record is good. So I think it's tied to the record.
I think it's more complicated than that. I think I'm going to go back to what you said at the beginning. No one's really defined it. I think that's on purpose. I think there's a lot of people that have with an axe to grind against him. People that have said he's a bust. People that said the Niners shouldn't draft him. These are national people too, not just local fans and media people. I think a lot of people want to see him fail. So if he wins, but his numbers aren't good, they're going to point to his numbers not being good. If his numbers are good, but he's not winning, somehow he's going to be at fault. I think the goalposts are going to move a lot, and you're going to see people attack him unless he has like a Patrick Mahomes type rookie season. I think he's in a tough spot in terms of this perception.
Well, to me, I think it comes down to two things. Does he flash big time ability, even if it's not consistent? Does he flash big time ability, and what's their record?
Right.
If he flashes big time ability and their record is good, I think people are going to say that's success. If he flashes big time ability and the record is bad, I think that will be in between. If he doesn't flash the big time ability and there's all kinds of inconsistency and the record is close to 500, people will say it's on him.
But I think what I'm trying to say is that like reasonable people will do what you're saying. But to me, like he's a lightning rod, Trey Lance, for whatever reason. And a lot of people are very like worked up one way or another. And I think some people will be very hard pressed to praise him. And I think you're going to have two different narratives around him. The narrative that, he's doing well for his stage in his career, and the narrative that he's not good enough. He's not worth what the Niners gave up. They never should have got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo. I think you're going to have two camps. It feels like people like the Jimmy Garoppolo camp isn't going away. And they just took a lot of crap the last couple of years and they're waiting to get revenge. Maybe I'm reading into this incorrect.
I do think you're reading into it because I think, let me just say this. I think Trey is going to demonstrate, and this is just my own prediction. I just think he's going to demonstrate right away that he's better than Jimmy. And so I think there's going to be a lot more limited, and the comparisons are not going to be as strong because I think Trey's going to demonstrate that he's better than Jimmy. And I think the overwhelming theory among 49er fans and media will be that Trey is better than Jimmy. So maybe I've got too high a thought about Trey.
I thought he demonstrated it last year too. I mean, when Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt in Tennessee and then didn't play against Houston, which was also kind of strange. Trey Lance came in and just a little rocky at first, but essentially from the end of the first half on, obliterated Houston. Put up some of the best numbers that any quarterback put up against that defense all year. I thought he showed it right there. It was a second start. But again, the Niners were like, Jimmy, we got to go. He's the vet. We got to let him finish this. He gives us a – So I just wonder, how much does Trey have to show? I think he's shown a lot. Jimmy never shows anything. Jimmy throws the same freaking passes all the time, throws the same interception all the time, but the Niners win. So again, if he doesn't, his numbers aren't great. If Trey Lance could put up better numbers and not win, and people blame him, when we've talked about it all offseason, the offensive line isn't as good. The nickelback position isn't as good. It's arguable whether they got better this offseason.
I'd love to go back to, I wish we could do this, go back to halftime Twitter of the Houston game.
Oh, it was not kind.
Do you remember what it was?
I do remember that. I remember he threw an interception in the first half and people were losing their minds. And I tweeted,
He didn't see the guy
Jimmy
on
Garoppolo throws
the
that interception every game. Like, relax.
Wasn't it like a back shoulder throw that he didn't see? He lost track of a defender.
Kittle. He was throwing to Kittle.
The hook defender got deep, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, at halftime of that game, the offense is sputtering.
Yep.
They haven't done anything. Did they have any points on the board at half?
They might have had 3.
Yeah.
They might have had 3.
I mean, I just remember seeing people saying, like, oh my God, Jimmy, Joe, oh my God, Jimmy's so great. Jimmy. And then the second half,
it was like the
Trey
defense wasn't on the field. It was like, whoa, Trey can do it if he wants. Yeah,
I thought Trey also bought time. I thought the Niner O-line in that game got handed their lunch by the Texan defensive front, and Trey was running for his life. If you go back to watch that second half, I thought he had a number of plays that would have been blown up in the backfield if it was Jimmy. Instead, Trey got away and made a play.
I think what we're going to see quickly is that Trey is among the best, if not the best, quarterback in the league at avoiding pressure on his own. I mean, he's got the quickness of a much smaller person, and he's huge. He's really strong.
That's kind of Mahomes-like. Think about Mahomes.
He's stronger than Mahomes. Yeah, but I agree. I think he's going to have that kind of ability to just escape.
Is Mahomes a runner? Nah, not really, but he can escape. And Trey, I think, is the exact kind of thing. Is he a runner? He's not a runner in the Lamar Jackson sense, but he's a runner in the Mahomes sense in that he can escape, and then he's got the big arm to make a play down the field.
Yeah. And he's quicker than Mahomes. He's faster than Mahomes. He's stronger than Mahomes. I mean, he's got the idea of Trey Lance is great. I hope he can get there. And we'll see if not playing him last year was the way to go. But what will define success for Trey Lance? I think you got to be realistic. He's 22, so you can't write him off if he has a year like Peyton Manning had when he was 22, or Josh Allen. I mean, Andrew Luck was in college at 22. I think we all expect Trey Lance to be much better because he's been here for a year and he has a good team around him. But there's probably going to be moments when he does look like a 22-year-old.
To me, it's also about turnovers too, because he didn't turn the ball over in college. And can he continue that trend in the NFL? Can he continue to take care of the football, set the protections, and not turn it over? If he plays mistake-free football and doesn't turn it over a ton, but they don't win a lot of games, I think that will be viewed as success. So I think people are going to. I think he's going to be judged harshly by some and really loosely by the people who want him to succeed. So there is going to be the two. There's going to be the two, like, well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that.
Right.
And there's going to be other people going, hey, man, you have no perspective. He's only played this and he's shown this. And so I think it's going to be a debate. It's an ongoing debate.
Because wasn't that what it was like with Jimmy? There were some people that were like, hey, he won. Hey, his completion percentage. I mean, you got to get, including people on his own team, and other people that were like, man, this guy's the worst player in the field. They're winning in spite of him. I mean, there was always a weekly debate with, like, was Jimmy responsible for this win or not? Or was Jimmy responsible for this loss or not? That was always a big debate. And I think that's now, it's just going to flip.
To me, there was the thing about Garoppolo was always like hope until we got into that first playoff game. And then all of a sudden you saw Kyle's reaction to his play with, we're just going to run the ball. We're just going to run the hell out of it. And then you start to look around going, well, wait a second. Does Kyle have confidence in him? Does Kyle believe in him? Why are they running the ball like so much against Minnesota and Green Bay? Then he gets to the Super Bowl. He's forced to throw it. And he had some of the, I just described that interception in the first half. He needed to make 4 or 5 big throws in that game, and he didn't make them.
Joshua Wyatt says the deep ball got objectively worse over time. Is it possible Jimmy had bum shoulder from day one and the surgery is actually a much bigger deal? Possible. I also think it's partly mental. I mean, he missed that throw to Emmanuel Sanders in the Super Bowl in front of everyone. That's how most casual football fans that don't root for the Niners remember Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think he's ever gotten over that.
Well, I mean, let's talk about Jimmy, too. Close your eyes and picture Jimmy throwing the ball. He does not step into his throws.
Not at all.
He flicks it. He flicks it, and that's the key to his quick release. Is there's no footwork tied to it, but that also means that your deep ball is going to hang. And guess what? His deep ball consistently hangs.
It certainly does. Jacob Mayhew says Jimmy has the quarterback IQ of a high schooler. Trey going to shut everyone up, including the former racist scout BTW. Yeah, it's proven now, Grant. Trey going to go off. Whew! Yeah, I do think that Trey's going to show a much higher football IQ and a much higher understanding of the offense and turn it over less. Also, hey, if you guys like, even if you do a super chat asking me who I'm working with and who I'm not working with, I'm not going to answer because I'm not trying to gossip about people I've collaborated with. Whether or not I'm working with them anymore, I wish them all success and all the best. And I hope you continue to watch them and support them. That's all I'm going to say about that.